Oscars are nigh upon us, and I feel that it is my mission in life to shit upon this award ceremony. This is the last picture show with Raheem Khan. I've only been on this platform for 2 years now, but I have been a long-time detractor of the Oscars, particularly after, and I've said this a number of times on this show, after they awarded Slumdog Millionaire the best Oscar win. It won the best Oscar for that year. Um, and I think even in that very same breath, I think it even nominated Avatar, but I think it's done that again this year. Nonetheless, I feel that the Oscars are divorced from reality. They are the product of delusional, and I'm sorry to bring race into this, delusional white people who every year feel that movies must very neatly fit into these categories, not even to these categories, into these boxes, so that sort of, if it's a movie about racism, or if it's a movie about sort of, like, for example, remember Green Book? That was Green Book, yeah. I mean, that won the Oscar, for God's sake. I mean, these movies have to be of a certain sort. And if they are of a certain sort, then they, sort of warrant the motion picture, the MPAA, Motion Picture of America, or something like that, notice. I mean, sort of, it warrants their approval, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, but nonetheless, this show, and pardon my rant, this show, at least this episode, I'm going to devote towards my predictions. Now, the thing is that I already commented on the nominations this year. There were some serious snubs, but then that's the Oscars for you. But at least this year, I think, in like an Oscars sweepstake, I can proffer what I feel are the most deserving winners in each category. And if I'm wrong, sue me. Or if you guys feel like, sort of hunt me down, or track me down, and sort of we can tally up the numbers and see who's right. And if I'm wrong, I can buy you dinner or something. I don't know. Okay. We shall start off with actor in a leading role. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 actors in this category. I like all of them. Okay, no. I definitely do not. Okay, I will preface this. If any of you saw my 2026, if any of you saw that show in which I spoke about the nominations, you'll know that this year is somewhat unprecedented, because Sinners, that piece of shit movie by Ryan Coogler, has been nominated in every single category, making it the most nominated film in Oscar history. This is why, returning to my previous comment of what when I started off this show, that this is just, it is the product. The Oscars are a product of, like, sort of white guilt, or at least delusional old white people. That's what this is. Sinners is not a movie that deserves 16 nominations. I'm sorry, it just does not. At the expense of other really good movies that we had in 2025. But here we are. So, actor in a leading role. We have Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan ×2 for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Okay, Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme. I've reviewed the movie, and I think I will put it out at some point, maybe perhaps after the Oscars. I don't think I'm going to get time to put it out before then. Chalamet in the film is a force of nature. He's very irritating in the movie, but then that's what the character is. However, and of course, Chalamet is a great actor. I think he's one of the best actors in this sort of, I don't know, under 30 category, or like under 40 category. I don't even know how old he is. I think he's under 30, whatever. But he's a very, very fine actor. However, he might have sabotaged or torpedoed his own chances at it, because in a recent interview, he, for some reason or the other, disparaged ballet and opera. Oh, I don't know why you would say that. Apparently, he feels that what he's doing is far more important than ballet and opera, and nobody's even like watching ballet or opera. So why bother? They should just come and see Chalamet perform. Of course, he will always be Paul Atreides for me, so I have a soft spot for him. What his chances are, I don't know, because again, sort of when it comes to the Oscars, it's never just the performance. A lot of stuff contributes, a lot of stuff factors into, who wins and who doesn't. So DiCaprio in one battle after another. I mean, yeah, he was really good. There's no doubt about it. However, I feel that there were others who outshone him. And they were, of course, Benicio del Toro, who's been nominated in a supporting role, which we'll get to in a second. So once Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, I mean, I used to until very, very recently. I loved Ethan Hawke, but then I mean, sort of what he said at the Berlin Film Festival when he was asked about Gaza. Um, it's kind of soured my relation with him. I don't know how I feel about him. Nonetheless, he's a very good actor, and his performance in Blue Moon, uh, it's pretty good. Not to say it wasn't, but is it best actor? What's it called? Material? I don't think so. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. Nah, man, forget this guy. I mean, 1 second, and then Wagner Moore for The Secret Agent. Okay, Wagner Moore. I love this guy. I love this guy, and he was really good in The Secret Agent. Now, who is going to get this? Um, I don't want to say Michael B. Jordan is going to pick this up because I mean, there seems to be. I mean, sinners can do no wrong. But in a perfect world, I would give this one to God. Not easy. I think I'd give this to Wagner Mora. Chalamet's still young. He still has a lot of performances under his belt. He has a lot of performances to go. I mean, DiCaprio is, I think, a close second. Simply because I think he's a close second for me. But I think I have a feeling that Wagner Mora might take this one, and I would like for him to get it. So for me, it's Wagner Mora. Of course, there might be a major upset for me at least, and Michael B. Jordan might get it. I hope not. Actor in a supporting role. Benicio del Toro one battle after another. Jacob Elordi, who I for the longest time I've keep on calling him Jacob Elrodi. It's Elordi. Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn one battle after another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Okay, I couldn't care. I like Delroy Lindo, but no, he did nothing in Sinners to deserve or warrant a best supporting actor nod. So the hell with this guy. Jacob Elordi, I didn't watch Frankenstein, so no, and he's young. No one's going to give it to this guy. So then I think the three main contenders for me, at least, are Del Toro, Penn, and Skarsgård. Um, Penn and Del Toro are both for one battle after another, and again, really good performances from both. I think if it were a battle between the two, if they were going to go head to head, then I think I would give it to Del Toro. Because even though Del Toro's in the movie he's not in it for too long, he really, really does stand out as Sensei. However, I do. Skarsgård was really good in Sentimental Value. It was a great movie. So this one's tough to call. I think I would give this one to Del Toro. So you can put my name. I mean, sort of, if there are any bookies, I doubt there are. But if anyone's watching this and you're going to be putting money down, I mean, sort of, my money's on Del Toro for this one. Okay, next. Actress in a leading role. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, Renate Renz for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Begonia. Okay, Rose Byrne, Kate Hudson, and Emma Stone. Begonia, Song Sung Blue, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I haven't seen these movies, so I cannot say anything regarding them. However, the real darling this award season has been Jessie Buckley. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Really like this actress. And have seen Hamnet, and again, I'll be putting out a review for that movie after the Oscars. But Did I think she was like, best actress material in that movie? I don't know. I think that the child who plays Hamna was better than her. But I like her. You may as well give it to her. But I'm not feeling this one as strongly. Renate Renz, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, for sentimental value, she was really good in this movie. Then it was a great movie all round. I think the safe bet is Buckley for this. So Jessie Buckley is going to take actress in a leading role, actress in a supporting role. Elle Fanning, sentimental value. Inga Milias, sentimental value. Amy Madigan, weapons. Wunmi Musaku, sinners. And Tiana Taylor, one battle after another. Elle Fanning and Inga, both for sentimental. Inga Lilias, sentimental value. Both of them were again pretty good. Uh, okay, one second. No to Wunmi Musaku for sinners. She didn't do anything. I mean, better than Wunmi Musaku was the Chinese lady. I mean, I liked her a lot better than no, not Wunmi Masaku. Tiana Taylor, no. I'm surprised. Again, I said this when I was talking about the nominations as a major snub. How did Chase Infinity, who plays Tiana Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter, how did she not get nominated for this movie? She was really good. So I'm scratching off Tiana Taylor. Amy Madigan for weapons. You know what, man? Give it to Amy Madigan. I like her. She looks fantastic as the wit. And you know what, man? Take it. Give it to Amy Madigan. Put my name down for her. Okay, animated feature film. Uh, I was supposed to watch Arco over the weekend. Unfortunately, it did not happen. Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. I'm having seen. I haven't seen. In fact, I've only seen Elio and Zootopia 2, so I can't really. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to guess this one and maybe give it to Harko. It's a lot of good buzz around this movie, and I hope to see it soon. Utopia 2 was okay, and I haven't watched K-pop Demon Hunters. Elio was all right, but I don't think it's definitely not best animated feature film. I'll give it to Arco. Casting. Now, this is something that I spoke about when when the Long Walk came out, because I was like, if this movie is not nominated for like best casting, then the Oscars have lost all credibility. And lo and behold, they have not nominated that movie. Instead, we have Hamlet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. Um, I feel Sinners is going to get it. It shouldn't when something like Long Walk exists, but seeing as how that's not here, you know what? I'm just going to sort of be a contrarian and say give it to One Battle After Another. Although Hamlet, man, Hamlet had a child who plays Hamlet. He was really good. And then the actor who plays Hamlet was also really good. And then, of course, you have Jesse Buckley and what's it called, Paul Mescal and all of these others. But you know what? I'll give it to One Battle After Another because you had some really, really good performances from everyone there, So One Battle After Another for me, but I feel Sinners is going to get it. Cinematography. Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Train Dreams, man. My money's on Train Dreams. I don't know why Sinners is in this. One Battle After Another for sure. So for Train Dreams, it's Adolfo Veloso, the most beautiful movie from 2025, shot in natural light, just an art piece. I mean, if you're only looking at like that. But yeah, for me, 100% it's Train Dreams. Costume design, we can skip that. Documentary feature film. It's a shame I haven't. Yeah, I just haven't been able to. The only one that I had seen on this light, not this light. Sorry, Come See Me in the Good Light. That's a movie on this. The only movie that I had seen on this list was Is the Perfect Neighbor. So I'm not qualified. I feel having not seen any of the other four. Who? Yeah, I can't say. International feature film. So you have The Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sirat, and The Voice of Hind Rajab. First of all, I am so very glad that they've actually put this on the list. The Voice of Hind Rajab. I recently reviewed it, and one of the most timely, relevant, important, and I would go so far as to say greatest films I've ever seen. So while again I loved Sentimental Value, really liked The Secret Agent. I haven't seen It Was Just an Accident, and I did acquire Sirat, if that's how you pronounce it, but unfortunately it did not have English subs. But you know what? The Voice of Hind Rajab. That's what is most deserving here. Let us go to production design, sound, visual effects. I'm sure we can skip those. Writing, adapted screenplay. Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. Now, of course, adapted screenplay means that there's source material in this case. In most of these, it's books. So, Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Train Dreams. I think One Battle After Another by Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, he took a Thomas Pynchon novel and sort of updated it to Trump's America. So, yeah, I think they should get it, even though Hamnet was really good. Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell, the lady who also wrote the book upon which Hamnet is based. Um, and then Train Dreams, adapted by Clint Bentley and Greg Reader, also, of course, adapted from a book, much beloved book. But yeah, I think that One Battle After Another is the most deserving here. Writing, original screenplay. Blue Moon by Robert Kaplow. It Was Just an Accident. Oh, what am I saying? I'm sorry. I have to go back. How could I have? I was thrown off by when it said under France, but yes, it is a French thing. It Was Just an Accident is by Jafar Banahi. So, but it's a French what's it called, submission. But nonetheless, having seen all of the movies in the national feature film category, I'm still sticking by The Voice of Hind Rajab. Okay, where were we? Writing, original screenplay. Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Sentimental Value. For me, one of the most, I would say, heartfelt, nuanced uh, treatment of estrangement, family, history, film, just, I mean, sort of relationships. There's just so much going on in this movie. And it was so, when I say heartfelt, I feel that it was so, it tapped into this, not even an emotion, it was tapping into this, I mean, feeling. I'm trying to put it into words, and maybe you guys can check out my review of Sentimental Value for this. But there was just something about this movie that just touched me. And yeah, for an original screenplay, it was amazing, man. Sinners by Ryan Coogler. No. Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie, and Ronald Bronstein. Uh, I found the movie, honestly, I just found it was overly long, irritating. I didn't find it great. The hell with it. It was just an accident, was interesting. I mean, considering everything that's going down in Iran, I'm not saying the movie is relevant. However, uh, yeah, I've reviewed that movie, so please check it out too. I'm giving it to Sentimental Value for sure. Written by Eskil Vogt and Joachim Trier, who is also the director. Okay, before we go on to Best Picture, let us go to Best Director. Always one of my favorite categories. Directing, we have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Hmm. Again, you all know how I feel about Ryan Coogler, so let's scratch him off the list. Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, whatever. Um, he's less of a director, I think, without his brother. So let's get rid of him. Then we have Sentimental Value, One Battle After Another, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. Um, hmm. What is my gut saying? So the thing is, there is no doubt that PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, it is a supreme achievement. It only goes on to solidify this man's reputation as one of the great American filmmakers. And yeah, the movie is really good. I did feel, and this isn't a problem on the directing side. This is more of him as a screenwriter. I feel that the film could have benefited from perhaps being a little more concise, but direction wise, I think, I mean, sort of for a director doing his first time like action movie, which it kind of was, like, it had sort of elements of that. It was like a thriller. He did a really good job. Joaquin Trill for Sentimental Value. Uh, yeah, but I think that not to say that, of course, as a filmmaker, I'm not just going to simply sort of think. I mean, he's an auteur, but hmm, sentimental. Okay, let us just whittle this down to Chloe Zhao for Hamnet and One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson. So I think if these were to go head to head, and again, I'm going to be putting out my best what's it called? I'm going to be putting out my review for Hamnet later next week. Um, I've always liked her, uh, regardless of her, you know, fumble slash stumble with Eternals. But I've always liked her as a director, a woman of deep sensitivity, a filmmaker of deep sensitivity. Um, but between these two, who gets it? Now, the Academy, being the Academy, might just sort of give it to Coogler for Sinners and sort of make redundant everything I have said. But I want to give it, and or maybe they're feeling, I don't know, like a woman should get it, like Catherine Bigelow. A lot of women have not been, sort of given the Oscar itself. So you know what? I feel like, let Chloe Zhao should get it. Yeah, let's give it to her. And this isn't, of course, a concession or something like that. Like just because she's a woman, she's a very, very good director. I mean, and yeah, please, you know, watch the review that I've done for Hamnet because the finale of that movie is just sublime. And now we go to our very, very last category, of course, one of the most important ones. Again, overstuffed because, it's the Oscars for you. And you have Begonia, Swan, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Mari Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Now, it's a little redundant to be nominating The Secret Agent for Best Picture and then also be putting it in the International Feature category. I mean, if it were up to me, of course it's not, but if it were up to me, I would have put the voice of Hind Rajab here, and the voice of Hind Rajab would have smoked all of these movies. So let's get rid of The Secret Agent. Gone. Begonia, you know what? Yorgos Lanthimos, after Poor Things, just like lost interest in him as a director, so doesn't need to be there. Frankenstein has no right being here. Rid of that. F1. Now, if you saw my best films of the year, F1 for me was the best film of the year. But while I'm happy to give it the uh, statuette, um, considering the other movies that it's up against, I mean, this is an inclusion. This is more of like, okay, we acknowledge that it was a really, really good movie. But again, it's here just to maybe satisfy, people who aren't really into the more art house type stuff. So it's going there. Sinners. Again, I'm just done with this goddamn movie. And if it picks up Best Picture, whichever feeling deep down it might, I mean, I will lose even more respect for the Oscars. So whatever. Train Dreams, yes, it is deserving of a nomination, 100%. It was a fantastic movie, one of my favorites from the year. But yeah, it's not going to get it. I know. Then you have Sentimental Value, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, and Marty Supreme. Um, Sentimental Value. Hmm. The hell with Marty Supreme. I didn't think it was a great movie. So let's get rid of that. Then you have Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sentimental Value. Uh, Out of these three, if you were to ask me, out of these three, which was consistently good, like from start to finish, it's Sentimental Value. Because the thing is that One Battle After Another did have its bum notes. There were times in the movie that I felt that, this scene is dragging on. We need to sort of we needed to be a little more, exercise a little more restraint and, kind of snip here and snip there and move on to the next scene. So the thing is that it was a perfectly, as I said at the time, it was a perfectly made, imperfect movie, right? It was dragged down by sort of being overly long, letting scenes drag, having a pretty stupid ending with the whole Sean Penn thing. Um, so, and I feel the same can apply to Hamnet. Why? Because the thing is that for the most part, I wasn't the movie didn't really do anything for me until the finale. So, which is why I feel that again, for a movie to be the best, for the movie to have to be considered a great, it needs to be consistently over the course of its runtime perfect. Like just it needs to be that. And out of all of these movies, I frankly, I've gotten rid of some of on the list for obvious reasons. But out of the three that I've whittled it down to, I think Sentimental Value should be awarded the best movie of the year. However, I feel, and come 15th of March, Sunday, I feel that sort of they're just going to give a ton of awards to Sinners, undeserved, because again, I think the movie was okay. I don't even want to get into this again, but yeah, if you were to ask me, it would have been between F1, Sentimental Value, and Train Dreams. I think these three, which did make it to, of course, my best of the year list. Yeah, I would give it a Sentimental Value. Um, if you were a betting man or woman, you may want to put money against what I said. But if any of these do not come to pass, like if any of these predictions, which, you know what? Let us do a post Oscar show. I will do a post Oscar show to see how many of these I got right or wrong, and of course to see how many upsets or thing, just to see how it all plays out. So I mean, sort of until then, I think that show keeps you sort of. Of course, I'm not going to watch the actual show itself. I mean, I will just wake up in the morning the next day to sort of read the winners list, and then of course do a follow up. Until then.